Alhamdulillah, in the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the most gracious, the most merciful. Peace and blessings be upon our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. My beloved brothers and sisters, when life becomes heavy, when doors seem closed, when your heart feels tired even though your body keeps moving, this is not the moment to give up. This is the moment to rise spiritually. Hard times are not a sign that Allah has abandoned you. They are often a sign that Allah is calling you closer. And two of the greatest doors to Allah's help during hardship are Fajr and Tahajjud, prayers that shape the strongest believers when life is at its weakest. Hard times are not a punishment. They are a divine call to strengthen your connection with Allah. When life feels unbearable, when the weight on your shoulders seems too heavy, and when every step forward feels impossible, it is easy to feel abandoned, defeated, or forgotten. But these moments are not signs of weakness. They are signs that Allah is testing your heart and preparing you for a higher level of faith and resilience. Hardships are like a mirror, reflecting the strength of your inner connection with the one who created you. The more you struggle, the more opportunities you have to turn inward, to seek Him sincerely and to build a bond that nothing in this world can break. It is during these times that your soul is most receptive to change, growth, and guidance. The trials you face, whether they are emotional, financial, or spiritual, are not random. They are intentional. They are designed to awaken the dormant strength within you. Allah never burdens a soul beyond what it can bear, and every difficulty you encounter is a chance to prove your endurance and trust in Him. In these moments, the world may seem silent, your friends may fail to understand, and your own heart may waver in despair. Yet the very existence of hardship is a reminder that your reliance should not be on anything temporary or fleeting. It should be on the one who controls the skies, the earth, and everything between them. Hard times invite you to surrender, to acknowledge your limitations, and to embrace the infinite power and mercy of Allah. When difficulties arrive, the heart often searches for quick solutions, for people to lean on, or for temporary distractions. But none of these can provide the permanent relief that comes from genuine faith and sincere connection with Allah. Hardship strips away the illusions of control and forces the believer to confront reality that true peace is not in wealth, not in status, not in recognition, but in the certainty that Allah is always near. The closer you move to Him, the lighter your burdens feel. The more you trust Him, the stronger you become. Every challenge becomes a stepping stone toward resilience, patience, and spiritual maturity. In this process, prayer becomes the bridge between despair and hope. When you feel hopeless, your voice becomes a weapon of faith. Every plea, every tear, every quiet whisper of dua is an act of courage. Hard times are the arena where prayer transforms from a routine into a lifeline. The heart begins to realize that no one sees your struggles as intimately as Allah does. Every sigh, every moment of pain, every unanswered question is witnessed and heard. And it is through these struggles that the heart learns humility, dependence, and unwavering trust. The more you respond to hardship with faith, the more your relationship with Allah deepens. You begin to understand that life's difficulties are not obstacles but invitations. Invitations to grow, to reflect, and to rise above the limits of human weakness. The beauty of hardship is that it trains the heart to see beyond the immediate pain and despair. It teaches the believer that success is not measured by comfort, ease, or immediate results, but by endurance, perseverance, and closeness to Allah. Hard times push you to examine your priorities, to question your reliance on worldly support, and to realign your heart toward the eternal. They encourage patience when the mind wants to rush, courage when the soul wants to surrender, and hope when the world seems hopeless. Every tear shed in sincere devotion, every moment spent in prayer despite exhaustion, every time you choose trust over despair, you are building a connection with Allah that is unshakable. Ultimately, understanding that hard times are a divine call transforms the way you live. It shifts your mindset from frustration to purpose, from confusion to clarity, and from despair to hope. You realize that these struggles are shaping your character, your resilience, and your faith. They are molding you into someone who can face life's storms with courage, wisdom, and unwavering belief. Hard times are not the end of the story. They are the chapters that define the strength of your faith. They are the moments when your heart is most open, most sincere, and most alive with the realization that Allah is near, always listening, always guiding, and always ready to respond to those who turn to Him with sincerity. My beloved brothers and sisters, Fajr builds discipline, clarity, and strength in moments of darkness. It is more than just a prayer. It is a declaration of resilience, a choice to rise when the world still sleeps, a commitment to stand before Allah even when the body craves rest. There is a unique power in the early hours of the morning, a sacred silence that allows the heart to speak freely and the soul to reconnect with its Creator. While everyone else chases comfort and continues to sleep, those who rise for Fajr embrace the challenge of discipline. They understand that real strength is forged not in ease, but in struggle. When you push yourself out of bed in the cold, the dark, or the quiet, you are training your heart to prioritize the eternal over the temporary, to value spiritual growth over fleeting comfort, and to choose connection with Allah over personal convenience. The discipline of Fajr is the foundation of a life aligned with purpose. It teaches the believer to overcome laziness, procrastination, and weakness. The world constantly encourages delay, excuses, and distractions, but Fajr demands consistency and courage. Every morning you rise, you are strengthening your ability to choose what is right over what is easy. This small yet powerful act ripples throughout your entire day. It shapes your mindset, sharpens your focus, and builds resilience. When life presents trials, those who have trained themselves to rise and stand in prayer during Fajr discover that they can also rise in the face of difficulty, endure in the face of challenge, and remain steadfast when others falter. The strength developed in those early hours becomes a shield, a source of energy, and a guiding light that sustains you through hardships. Fajr is also a moment of clarity. In the stillness of the dawn, distractions fade and the mind can think clearly. This is the time when reflection becomes profound, when intentions are purified, and when the heart is most receptive to guidance. In these moments, you can seek solutions not from the chaos of the world, but from the one who controls it all. Decisions made with a heart aligned to Allah are wiser, more thoughtful, and more resilient. Hard times often cloud judgment and create confusion, but the discipline of Fajr brings a perspective that transcends worldly chaos. It allows the believer to face challenges with a calm mind, a focused spirit, and unwavering faith that Allah will guide every step. Moreover, Fajr strengthens the connection between effort and reward. Waking up in the darkness, performing ablution, and standing in prayer is not just a ritual. It is a declaration that you are willing to sacrifice comfort for growth, devotion, and spiritual clarity. Every act of commitment strengthens the heart's resilience and prepares it to withstand trials. The world may not notice, and immediate results may not appear, but the spiritual benefits accumulate in ways that are often invisible to the human eye. The power of Fajr lies in its consistency, its ability to transform ordinary mornings into extraordinary opportunities for inner strength, patience, and perseverance. The discipline of Fajr also builds courage. It teaches the believer that true bravery is not in loud gestures or public victories, but in the quiet determination to rise and stand firm when no one is watching. Every step toward the prayer mat is a victory over weakness, over doubt, and over the temptation to surrender to comfort. This courage extends beyond the morning. It seeps into every area of life. When faced with challenges, obstacles, or despair, the soul remembers the mornings it conquered, the moments it chose Allah over sleep, and the strength it discovered within itself. Hard times become easier to face because the believer has already trained in the quiet discipline of Fajr. Ultimately, Fajr transforms not just the morning, but the heart, the mindset, and the life. It is a daily exercise in resilience, clarity, and spiritual strength. It reminds the believer that strength is not born in comfort, that clarity is not born in chaos, and that true discipline is cultivated in consistency. In moments of darkness and hardship, Fajr-trained hearts stand tall, ready to face challenges with patience, focus, and unwavering faith. Those who embrace the early hours embrace a power that no Iyal can diminish, a light that no darkness can obscure, and a strength that no hardship can break. My beloved brothers and sisters, Tahajjud is the prayer of sincerity, tears, and unseen miracles. It is a gift that few fully appreciate. A moment when the heart speaks its rawest truths to Allah, and the soul reaches heights that are impossible in the distractions of the day. Tahajjud is not about routine or obligation. It is about desire, longing, and the courage to seek help when all else seems lost. It is in the silence of the night that the heart finds its voice, and the one who prays Tahajjud discovers a peace that surpasses understanding. This prayer teaches that true strength is often quiet, that real devotion does not need applause, and that the most transformative moments occur when the world is asleep, and only Allah witnesses your struggle and your sincerity. The beauty of Tahajjud lies in its intimacy. In these hours, you are completely alone with your Creator, away from the opinions, judgments, and chaos of the world. There is a purity in this solitude, a chance to confront your fears, your pain, and your uncertainties without hiding behind a mask. When life becomes heavy, when problems multiply, and when hope feels distant, Tahajjud becomes the moment of renewal. Every tear, every whisper, plea, every broken word spoken in humility carries power beyond measure. Allah listens most closely to the heart that reaches out in sincerity during the quiet of the night, and this prayer becomes a channel through which guidance, strength, and comfort flow. Tahajjud is also a school of patience and perseverance. It teaches that success is not always immediate, that answers may not come the way we expect, and that faith is not measured by how quickly our problems vanish, but by how steadfastly we remain connected to Allah in their presence. Those who commit to Tahajjud learn to endure the night, to rise above weariness, and to offer their hearts fully even when it is difficult. Hard times often drain energy, cloud judgment, and create despair, but the one who prays Tahajjud discovers an inner reservoir of strength. They learn that effort combined with faith has the power to transform situations, heal hearts, and illuminate paths that were once invisible. Furthermore, Tahajjud instills hope. It reminds the believer that no matter how dark the night, there is always a light. The world may not provide solutions, friends may not always be present, and circumstances may seem impossible, but Allah is always near. In the silence of Tahajjud, hope is restored, courage is renewed, and the heart is reminded that miracles are not bound by time or logic. Every prayer, every dua, and every moment of sincere devotion during this sacred time is a declaration that you refuse to surrender to despair. It is an act of faith that speaks louder than words, proving that trust in Allah can move mountains even when the world sees nothing. Tahajjud also cultivates humility. It teaches that human strength is limited and that true reliance is found in surrender to the Almighty. When you stand in the night shivering with exhaustion, your heart heavy with worries, you realize that everything in life, every joy, every comfort, every opportunity is ultimately a gift from Allah. This realization humbles the soul, softens the heart, and creates an unwavering connection between the servant and the Creator. Humility in Tahajjud is not weakness, it is the source of true power. It is the power to endure trials, to remain steadfast in adversity, and to face life's challenges with serenity and courage. Finally, Tahajjud is the prayer of transformation. It changes the heart, the mind, and the spirit. It turns despair into hope, weakness into strength, confusion into clarity, and sorrow into solace. Those who embrace Tahajjud regularly discover that even the most difficult circumstances lose their power over the heart. Challenges remain, but the believer stands taller, prays harder, and trusts deeper. The night becomes a sacred teacher, The silent hours become a sanctuary, and the act of standing before Allah transforms ordinary lives into lives of purpose, resilience, and unwavering faith. Tahajjud reminds us that the most profound victories are often invisible, that the most powerful acts of devotion occur in silence, and that the heart that reaches out in sincerity will always be heard. In the hardest moments of life, when despair threatens to overwhelm, Tahajjud becomes the ultimate weapon of hope, the refuge of the broken, and the source of strength that carries the believer forward. My beloved brothers and sisters, consistency in prayer transforms the heart before it changes circumstances. Life is filled with uncertainty, challenges, and moments where it feels as though nothing is within our control. In such moments, it is easy to be overwhelmed, to feel powerless, and to lose hope. Yet consistency in prayer offers a solution far greater than immediate fixes. It transforms the inner self, shapes resilience, and creates a foundation that no hardship can shake. The person who prays regularly, whether in the light of dawn or the quiet of night, is not just performing a ritual, they are developing a character that refuses to be defeated by the trials of life. Consistent prayer is a training ground for the heart, teaching patience, discipline, and unwavering trust in Allah. It is through this regularity that the heart learns to navigate difficulties with courage and composure, understanding that even when circumstances remain unchanged, its own strength has grown. Consistency in prayer builds an inner fortress. When life throws challenges, setbacks, or betrayals your way, your first response is not panic or despair, but turning to Allah with sincerity. This regular turning to the Creator trains the heart to seek guidance, clarity, and support from the only source that is unchanging and all-powerful. Over time, the act of consistent prayer becomes a habit of resilience. The believer begins to approach every problem with a mindset molded by devotion, understanding that reliance on Allah is the most reliable solution. Even if the world falters or obstacles persist, the heart is fortified, the mind remains focused, and the soul is at peace. This inner transformation is far more valuable than any external relief because it ensures that the believer remains strong no matter the circumstance. Consistency also cultivates hope and unwavering faith. In the hardest times, when despair is close, the habit of prayer serves as a reminder that help is always near. Each prayer strengthens the connection with Allah and reassures the believer that no situation is hopeless. When prayers are offered consistently, the heart learns that even if answers do not come immediately, Allah's wisdom and timing are perfect. The believer gains the patience to endure, the vision to see beyond temporary struggles, and the confidence that no hardship is permanent. Consistency is a statement of faith, a declaration that no matter how difficult life becomes, you will not abandon the relationship that sustains you. Furthermore, consistent prayer develops clarity and focus in decision making. Life is full of distractions, temptations, and confusion. The one who prays consistently trains their mind and heart to prioritize what is important, to seek guidance in every choice, and to act with integrity and wisdom. The discipline of turning to Allah at specific times every day establishes a rhythm of reflection, correction, and growth. Through this habit, the believer becomes capable of facing challenges with calm determination, making choices rooted in purpose rather than impulse, and responding to setbacks with resilience rather than frustration. Consistency does not guarantee that life will be free of difficulty, but it guarantees that the believer will navigate every situation with a heart grounded in faith. Consistent prayer also strengthens emotional and spiritual endurance. Hard times often test not only the mind but also the heart, creating waves of doubt, fear, and despair. Yet, the regular act of prayer trains the heart to remain steady, to seek solace in divine guidance, and to approach life with balance. Every repeated act of devotion is a reinforcement of the believer's resilience an affirmation that no challenge can overpower a heart rooted in faith. It is through this endurance that the believer discovers the true meaning of strength, not as a measure of control over circumstances, but as the ability to maintain trust, hope, and devotion even when circumstances seem unbearable. Ultimately, consistency in prayer transforms the believer from the inside out. While the world may focus on immediate results, true spiritual growth occurs quietly, steadily, and persistently. Hardships may not disappear overnight, problems may remain for a time, and life may continue to test the heart. Yet those who are consistent in prayer find themselves transformed. Their hearts become stronger, their patience deeper, and their faith unwavering. The transformation begins internally, shaping the soul in a way that circumstances cannot undo. Over time, the strength cultivated through consistent prayer manifests in life itself. The believer faces trials with courage, embraces challenges with confidence, and walks through hardship with a heart anchored in the certainty that Allah's guidance, mercy, and support are always near. Consistency in prayer is not merely about rituals. It is about cultivating a heart that refuses to be broken, a mind that refuses to be confused, and a soul that refuses to surrender. It is the ultimate tool for transformation, proving that the inner change always precedes external victory, and that faith, when nurtured steadily and sincerely, becomes an unstoppable force even in the darkest of times. My beloved brothers and sisters, Allah listens most closely when you turn to Him in silence and humility. In a world filled with noise, distractions, and endless demands, it is easy to forget that the most profound connection with the Creator happens in moments of quiet devotion. Hard times often push the heart to seek comfort and solutions in worldly sources. Yet true solace and guidance come from the one who sees everything, knows everything, and hears everything. When you approach Allah with sincerity, humility, and a heart stripped of pretense, you tap into a source of power and mercy that the world cannot provide. Silence in prayer is not emptiness, it is presence. Humility is not weakness, it is strength. These are the qualities that make your supplications powerful and transformative. When life becomes overwhelming, when your heart feels heavy, and when challenges seem insurmountable, it is in the quiet of sincere prayer that you find your refuge. Allah does not require grand gestures, public displays, or loud proclamations. He requires sincerity, humility, and consistency. The heart that whispers in the darkness, that cries silently in desperation, and that turns fully toward Him, reaches a level of connection that brings clarity, strength, and hope. Silence allows the heart to pour itself out without fear of judgment, to confess its weakness without shame, and to ask for guidance with complete honesty. Humility allows the believer to surrender, to trust, and to accept that some matters are beyond human control. This combination of silence and humility creates the conditions for miracles, for peace, and for resilience to emerge. Turning to Allah in humility teaches the heart the difference between reliance on humans and reliance on the divine. People may fail, circumstances may disappoint, and efforts may seem futile, but Allah's attention is constant. Every silent plea, every whispered dua, every heartfelt cry in the solitude of night is heard. Even when it feels as though nothing is happening, the very act of turning in humility is a sign of faith and trust. This act strengthens the heart, trains the soul, and prepares the believer to endure trials with patience. It is a reminder that while outcomes may be delayed, the connection between the heart and Allah is immediate, unbroken, and powerful. Humility before Allah also reshapes perspective. In moments of difficulty, the heart often grows restless, impatient, and frustrated. Yet, when approached with humility, the heart begins to see challenges not as punishments, but as opportunities. Opportunities to grow, to strengthen faith, to purify intentions, and to rely fully on Allah's wisdom. Every struggle becomes a classroom, every trial becomes a teacher, and every moment of hardship becomes a chance to draw nearer to the one who knows all and controls all. The The heart learns that true strength does not come from controlling circumstances, but from surrendering to Allah's plan and trusting in His perfect timing. Silence in prayer also cultivates patience. It teaches the believer to wait without anxiety, to hope without despair, and to persevere without complaining. Humility reminds the heart that Allah's wisdom surpasses human understanding. Together, these qualities produce a deep resilience that cannot be shaken by external trials. When the world feels chaotic, when challenges seem endless, and when despair threatens, the heart anchored in silent, humble devotion remains steady, calm, and confident. This inner strength radiates outward, influencing behavior, decisions, and the ability to navigate life's obstacles with grace. Moreover, Allah's listening is not limited by time or circumstance. He hears the heart that cries in the pre-dawn, the soul that sighs in the stillness of night, and the spirit that whispers prayers in private. This assurance is a source of hope, courage, and persistence. Even if relief does not come immediately, even if solutions seem distant, the heart knows that it has been heard, that its efforts are recorded, and that its reliance on Allah strengthens faith itself. Turning to Allah in humility and silence becomes a habit that transforms life, creating a resilience that is invisible yet undeniable. Ultimately, the believer who embraces silent and humble supplication discovers a profound truth. Allah is closer than anything else, more responsive than any human source, and infinitely wise in His guidance. Hard times do not diminish His attention, they highlight the need for reliance upon Him. Every heartfelt prayer, every tear shed in sincerity, and every act of humble devotion draws the heart closer to peace, clarity, and strength. When the believer learns to turn silently and humbly toward Allah, they are empowered to face life with courage, patience, and unwavering faith, knowing that the one who listens most closely is always near. My beloved brothers and sisters, spiritual strength gained in hardship leads to long-term success and peace. Life is full of challenges, trials, and moments that test the limits of patience, courage, and faith. In these moments, it is easy to focus on the difficulties, to feel defeated, and to believe that the struggle is in vain. Yet every hardship carries a hidden gift, the opportunity to grow spiritually, to deepen faith, and to develop resilience that no worldly success alone can provide. The pain, struggle, and challenges of life are the training grounds for the heart and soul. They are the crucibles in which character is forged, patience is refined, and trust in Allah is strengthened. Those who embrace hardship with faith discover that true success is not measured by wealth, status, or recognition, but by the strength, peace, and clarity cultivated within the heart. Hardship forces the heart to confront its limitations, weaknesses, and vulnerabilities. It strips away reliance on material comforts, worldly validation, and human approval, revealing the essential truth that strength and guidance come from Allah alone. The believer learns that while circumstances may be difficult, the heart can remain steadfast, hopeful, and strong. Every tear, every prayer, and every moment of perseverance in the face of adversity contributes to an inner reservoir of spiritual power. This strength is invisible to the world but invaluable in life. It equips the believer to navigate future challenges with calm, wisdom, and unwavering faith, creating a foundation for lasting success and peace. Spiritual strength gained in hardship also builds patience. Patience is not simply waiting, it is maintaining faith, hope, and composure while navigating challenges. It is enduring difficulties without surrender, persevering without complaint, and trusting Allah's timing even when immediate relief seems impossible. Hard times stretch the soul, teaching the believer that every trial has a purpose and that every struggle carries the potential for growth. This patience transforms setbacks into lessons, obstacles into opportunities, and despair into resilience. A heart strengthened by hardship can face storms with confidence, knowing that the struggles themselves are shaping endurance, character, and faith that will last a lifetime. Moreover, hardship refines gratitude. When the heart experiences difficulty, it becomes more aware of Allah's blessings. Every comfort, every success, every moment of relief is appreciated deeply because it is contrasted with the challenges endured. Gratitude born from hardship is authentic, grounded in experience and enduring. It transforms the way the believer sees life, turning ordinary moments into sources of joy and ordinary blessings into treasures. Spiritual strength allows the heart to recognize the divine wisdom behind every hardship, cultivating a mindset that values growth, resilience, and trust above temporary comfort. Spiritual strength also transforms the way the believer interacts with the world. A heart tested in hardship develops empathy, compassion, and understanding for others facing difficulties. It teaches humility, recognizing that everyone has struggles unseen by the world. This strength allows the believer to become a source of support, encouragement, and inspiration to others, reflecting the divine mercy that sustained them through their own trials. Hardship becomes not only a personal journey of growth, but also a pathway to positively impact others, spreading resilience, faith, and hope. Furthermore, the spiritual strength gained in hardship ensures long-term peace. While worldly success may come and go, and circumstances may shift unpredictably, inner peace, grounded in faith, remains constant. The believer learns to separate what they can control from what they cannot, to focus on maintaining a strong relationship with Allah, and to find solace in prayer, patience, and trust. Life's external chaos may persist, but the heart remains anchored, calm, and unwavering. This peace is the true reward of enduring trials with faith, a treasure that wealth, status, or recognition cannot replace. Ultimately, the challenges faced in life are not meaningless. Every difficulty is an opportunity to strengthen the soul, to purify intentions, and to cultivate a faith that endures beyond temporary circumstances. Spiritual strength gained through hardship creates a foundation for success, resilience, and lasting peace. It equips the believer to face future trials with courage, to approach life's uncertainties with confidence, and to navigate challenges with wisdom and patience. Those who embrace hardship with faith discover that the struggles themselves are gifts, shaping a heart that is strong, a mind that is clear, and a soul that is at peace. The lessons learned, patience developed, and the trust cultivated in adversity become the ultimate preparation for a life of true success, satisfaction, and serenity.